Happy New Year, mother. I'm joking. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you've had a great time, guys. Yep, 2025 is here, and we got lots to talk about when we talk about 2025. But what's the story? Well, we've got big news coming into crypto, especially with what I'm talking about today. There's a lot of money waiting to be put into cryptocurrency. In this live stream, I'm going to be doing a couple of things. I'm going to be giving you a breakdown on how to approach the stock market going into 2025, how that's going to help you understand what Bitcoin's going to do. At the same time, we're going to be talking about a giveaway that I'm currently doing, where 3 subscribers are going to get access to the Platinum membership free for a whole month. And I'm going to be explaining to you how you can take advantage of that later on. We'll then go into a bit of Bitcoin and the story that I'm going to be talking about today as well, how that's going to relate to what I expect Bitcoin to do first before it gets to my price projection of around $115,000 by the first quarter of, before the quarter's done in 2025. So the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen, we're expecting Bitcoin to make a big move. So if you are new, welcome. My name is Tino. You've tuned into Traders Reality. Happy New Year to every single one of you. Mad love and respect to every single one. So 84K imminent. It begins. It begins. Everyone's all talking about their price projection. Let's get into the program. Here we go. So, yeah, there's a great outlook for cryptocurrency. It really is. And the only great thing that's happening for crypto is Trump's inauguration. That's massive, because the question that everyone is going to have on their minds is, what's he going to do first? Is he going to get this Bitcoin reserve story kicked off? We've got new regulations coming into cryptocurrency. This USDT FUD about Mika, and they're going to get it delisted. I ain't heard anything else now. It's the 1st of January. What about the repo? Has anyone heard anything about the repo? What do I mean by that? Well, the Federal Reserve is pumping $500 million back into the marketplace. So we're probably going to have ourselves a really great start to the week, or should I say tomorrow, when the markets reopen. The markets are closed today, guys, as you can see. In the terms of the Forex market, we don't really have that much activity happening as such. You got, look, nothing. It's flat across the board. No movement in the currency pairs. The NASDAQ itself, there's nothing happening in the stock market. It's all closed. The only thing that is moving is Bitcoin. Now, what are we going to expect from Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen? Just having a look at the price action right now. I'll go over to the daily time frame just to put things into perspective. Yeah, Bitcoin is currently sat at 50 EMA. It's doing very well to hold on to it. And I'm going to get into my logic about why. What is the big news about Bitcoin? Well, look, it's this. This is massive. Binance has got $31 billion worth of stable coins sat there in reserves. Okay, so people have effectively plowed their money into Binance and they're just waiting. In my opinion, the only thing that investors could be waiting for is Trump's inauguration. So what I'm going to be explaining right now, guys, is from now going into the inauguration itself, that is the 20th of January, there's going to be a window where the market is going to behave in a specific fashion. If they are really going to be anticipating Trump's arrival and they're looking forward to his policies that he's going to be putting forward, the market's going to prepare for it now so that as it starts to play out, everything starts moving in according, or should I say, in the true fashion that it wants to. So let me break it all down for you. Keep in mind this story about the reserves, okay? First thing I want to address to you all is this. We go over to this market surge. This right here tells me what's going on in the stock market, okay? A quick snapshot. It says here that the NASDAQ and the S&P have extended their losing streaks. Also, exposure should now be 40 to 60%. So in other words, if you have a stock portfolio, you should only really be committing around 40 to 60% of your portfolio's worth, okay? And that is in stocks. Why? We've got here 7 distribution days on the NASDAQ and 6 distribution days on the S&P, okay? What are these? A distribution day is where volume has come in a little bit higher than normal, where it's usually over 1%, okay? And that implies that institutional investors are offloading stocks. An accumulation day is where investors are adding to their portfolios and they're buying stocks. From this chart here, you can see that we've got more distribution days than we do accumulation days. So let's just go over to the charts right now just to understand this logic so you can understand what to look out for when you are investing in 2025, okay? In front of you, I've got the NASDAQ composite on the weekly chart. It looks great. One thing we can guarantee is there's going to be periods of consolidation. There's going to be periods of correction. There's going to be pandemics. There's going to be scaremongering. There's going to be all sorts happening. But with regards to the NASDAQ and the S&P, I strongly believe that this is going to serve anyone that is investing in the stock market and anyone investing with Bitcoin. Because quite frankly, guys, you've got to admit it. The stock market's moving, Bitcoin's moving. That's the truth. And there's no two ways about it. You've got index funds now that are actually all linked to cryptocurrency. You've got stocks in the stock market that are linked to cryptocurrency. You've got MicroStrategy pulling off madness with regards to just selling more shares to their investors so they can raise capital to buy Bitcoin. There is a lot of exposure to cryptocurrency in Wall Street. Now, this event that we're going into in terms of the Trump inauguration is going to kickstart that and probably give us the rally in Bitcoin and maybe the rally in altcoins that we're looking for. But what I'm going to talk about now is going to serve you all to give you an alignment in how to approach the markets going into 2025. So I said that we've got distribution days building up on the NASDAQ and the S&P. You'll find that the NASDAQ usually has more distribution days than the S&P. Why? Because the NASDAQ is a little bit volatile. And of course, it is thinly traded. But not to say that it's not any different to what's going on in the S&P. S&P has more volume comparison to the NASDAQ itself. Draw your attention to the bottom of this chart right here. Now, you can see blue bars are accumulation, red bars, pink, whatever they are, is distribution. Now, let's just go to the last high over here. What was going on in this area that created this corrective move to the downside? Now, listen, this corrective move lasted from the 12th of July, from July, going all the way into the, just a corrective move for about a month, okay? That corrective move is going to determine whether or not you're going to get a discount on specific stocks, whether you're going to get a discount on Bitcoin, a discount on whatever it is you're buying, because you're effectively following what's going on in the stock market, what was going on beforehand. Look at the pink bars here. That's one distribution day, okay? So, sorry, the one before that. One distribution day right there. 2 distribution days, 3 distribution days, 4 distribution days. And then they started off with this little one right here, 5 distribution days, which effectively kicked off the move to the downside, okay? Notice that the distribution days were starting to build up as price was rising. So institutional investors were selling as price was moving up. Who buys when price is rising? Not me. Not me. You? When you see the accumulation, or should I say the distribution happening, which means investors are selling as price is rising, you can anticipate that there's going to be a downwards move. Remember, when distribution days build up, it's starting to show that investors are offloading. So naturally, the market is going to correct and move to an area where it can start grabbing interest again. That month-long correction was based on around 5 days worth of distribution, okay? Now, we're not going to go all the way back and count these distribution days for the guy that says, yeah, but Tina, look back. This is from this move down here, going all the way up to this move. Yeah, we had this distribution right here, but that, of course, led to a bit of a corrective move anyway. But this was the big move up, and then it led to the majority of the correction back down again. So the last 5 days, as price was making higher highs, they were selling. Now, what we've got right now over here on the stock market is a very interesting story. We've got lots of distribution days happening here, and volume is rising as it's being sold at the highs. Remember, distribution days build up in the stock market because they can't just slump everything in one instance unless you've got a black swan event or something really crazy has happened, like the Bank of Japan increasing their interest rates. But quite frankly, back on the 5th of August, when they did, or should I say when the market reacted to the increase in the interest rates, The Bank of Japan already increased their interest rates on the 31st of July. So the market had plenty of time to react to it. Why didn't it react straight away? It reacted nearly 5-6 days later. They have to move it slowly, and then they make the move, right? What we've got right now is we've got a collection of distribution days. You've got 7 in total. So we put 2 and 2 together and make an assumption that, is it possible that we're going to see prices of assets start to depreciate? Which leads me over to this inauguration for Trump. From now, going into the inauguration, I think we're going to be in a corrective mode in the marketplace. That means investors are going to be loading up on assets. They're going to be buying. You might get some assets that are going to be outperforming other assets as well. But overall, I think the market's going to be in a markdown phase. In other words, bearish. It's going to be going down. That's not FUD. That's helping you understand how the market can rise again. Because everyone is on the expectation that the markets are going to continue this rally to the upside. We just need a little bit of a corrective move. Okay? Now, going into how this is going to impact cryptocurrency. There's 2 things that can happen to Bitcoin with this story. If Bitcoin does follow the NASDAQ and the S&P, we just go over to the NASDAQ on this higher time frame, you can see that NASDAQ is starting to pull away in towards a moving average. If NASDAQ does actually break down from this area here at 20,993, then we're into what would be the corrective move to the downside. We would be expecting price to withstand and hold around 19,900. I need price to come down and stay within this range right here. I need it to stay within this range until Trump's inauguration. So that effectively means price comes down, makes the move, happy days, everyone's losing their brain, and it just starts to consolidate in here. Trump's inauguration, new policies. He's not going to be putting that much of a pain or tariffs on China. He's going to be a little bit lenient with Euro, and then happy days, NASDAQ goes and clears the ranges to the upside. When we look at it, I'm expecting them to try and take out this range right here. On the 6th of January, you've got NVIDIA having an event. So investors are going to be paying attention to that. Go over to NVIDIA right now. You can see that it's been doing very, very well and it's consolidating. What I want NASDAQ to do is effectively what NVIDIA is doing. My price projection for this year for NVIDIA is around $250 to $300 a share on NVIDIA. We just want to wait and see how they're going to actually hit the markets with all their new things that they're getting involved in, like humanoid robotics and electric vehicles and what have you. NVIDIA is getting their hands into everything. Okay. Now, going into Bitcoin, what we've got to understand is this. What I expect and what I'm anticipating from Bitcoin, okay, from now until, because what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm adding logic to my price projection. I'm not giving you a price projection because I like Bitcoin and yeah. I'm trying to help you understand how you can put logic behind it. Firstly, you've got distribution days building up on the NASDAQ and the S&P. So that means investors are starting to offload. You've got a big event coming up, which is Trump's inauguration coming into play. We've also got earnings call coming into play as well. So we're going to really see if companies are actually doing well, which is naturally going to be fueling the stock market to maintain its rally to the upside. But what I'm going to do now is give you the logic on what I think Bitcoin is going to do first, and then go back at how this story here is going to serve it. So, Bitcoin. Right now, it's at the 50 EMA. Happy days. All right? How many of you are loading up on Bitcoin in this range? Give me a hoorah, give me a 1, give me a whatever you want. Type 2025. Okay? Now, what Bitcoin could do before it gets to my 115,000 price projection, okay? Doesn't look like it's far away. Bitcoin needs to hold within this range. This is the range, okay? That puts Bitcoin at 80,000 right here. And then, of course, it puts it at 88,629. Is it possible that Bitcoin can sweep lower? Most definitely. And if you can't accept that Bitcoin can go lower, please remove yourself from the game of trading or investing. You're in a different world. You're in la la land. You really can't think that it won't. Okay? The more people that get involved in cryptocurrency, the more often people's opinion of it changes. You heard about the young whales that are coming into crypto. They're the boys off Wall Street that have got a bit of chump change to put into cryptocurrency. They're coming in with Wall Street mentality. That means if they've made a bit of profit on Bitcoin, they're taking it. They don't care about your holding of diamond hands and what have you. They're not interested in that. They're interested in exploiting where volatility is. Implied volatility, the volatility index. There are people that only care about what's going to move. Can I make money from it? There ain't no I'm married to the trade kind of idea with Wall Street, okay? Unless you're a value investor. But that goes beyond it. I'm trying to get you to understand that the culture in cryptocurrency is hold on to your bags. Yeah, that's cool. But you've got Wall Street playing crypto, and that's going to impact the price. Going into it all, I expect Bitcoin from now going into the 20th of January to be in this consolidated state. That means it's going to be moving up and down, might even tap that 90 zone and move and give a nice little flavorsome move up, try and hit 100, come back down again. That could be over a period of 20 days before, once we know what happens with Trump. And then Bitcoin's going to then try and proclaim the move to the upside and take out the 115,000 price projection that I'm looking for. Word on the street is that they're all expecting it to go into 120K. You've got this thing right here. Bullish crypto outlook. President Trump inauguration approaches. We've got the Bitcoin is up 120% for the year 2024. And everyone is on the hype for crypto rules and big moves from investors. Big moves from investors could make sense as to why there's $31 billion stuck in Binance, waiting to be put together. Putting that logic together, just going over to some on-chain analytics, you can see the stablecoin ratio is currently sat flat right now, okay? I'll quickly go over to Coinbase Premium to put it into perspective. Now, I like to look at this because this is going to tell me if investors are buying and selling. That means retail traders. And right now, a lot of them are actually selling. But do not look at this as a negative thing. See it as a buying opportunity, because if you track this red thing right here, okay, every time it corrects into the red, that's a buying opportunity. Bitcoin reverses, because when it's in the green, everyone's buying and they end up getting had. Okay, look at where it was peaking out. Anyone that used this chart and saw that the Coinbase Premium Index was trading positive, which means that investors are buying, Bitcoin corrects. That's the problem with Bitcoin. It does correct aggressively. Okay, so right now you can see we've got this red behavior right here. If I just zoom out and put it into perspective a little bit, we haven't spent that much time in the drawdown of negative, which is where investors are selling. Flip it, because it's where investors are buying. You want to focus on where investors are buying. Look at all this red stuff here. If you were looking at it from that logic that investors are buying and not selling, you would have been buying in these regions right here. And then Bitcoin just slumps, just takes it to the upside. Look at this area here. Look at when all these investors were selling the Bitcoin was climbing up, but they were selling it. And people were just taking it off them. All the limit guys, all the guys with their passive orders, just picking it all up from the retail trader that was what? Selling it. Started to rise. Okay? So just be very mindful of that premium index itself. Now, going into it. That's my logic. Okay? The up, down, the range-like behavior on Bitcoin, it can do that, and I know it can do that, and it can always do that. It will always probably do that, and it will always do that which we don't want it to do. But that is my logic, that from now until the 20th, this ratio is going to get put to work. People are going to be planting money into Binance or Coinbase, and they're going to be preparing to hear what Trump has to say about Bitcoin, I would say. And if I say it, it could actually happen, but I've said it before. This could be Bitcoin's price by just shortly after the 20th of January. It could be Bitcoin's price, and that's not financial advice. This is adding weight to a price projection. So you've got the number of distribution days on the NASDAQ and the S&P that start to build up. That means price is probably going to correct inside of this range right here. From that point, as we get closer and closer towards Trump's inauguration, price is probably going to stabilize. Then we're going to see accumulation days coming into play, because all we need is just one day on the NASDAQ to take off the distribution days. So we need to see a positive trading day on the NASDAQ, which would suggest that investors are loading up on assets. Okay? Any questions? Tino, should I invest now in 20 years treasury bonds or wait? Thank you. Listen, I'm getting, with the platinum members, I'm going to be talking them through an approach. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be, where is it? I've got 10 grand, okay? And I'm going to be putting that in ETFs. But the type of ETFs that I'm going for are going to be based on a number of things. What I'm planning on doing, I'm going to be talking them through it. But what I'm going to be doing is investing in 5 types of ETFs. Firstly, I'm going to invest in US stock-based ETFs. Okay, so the whole US stock market. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2, I'm going to look for international ETFs. So companies around the world or stock markets around the world, like China, even though China's getting smacked in the face, that is effectively an emerging industry, emerging market as such. So I want to get involved in that because in 2-3 years' time, when they really start to pull their fingers, they're going to be a major power. Okay. And naturally, Babylon will fall, as they say. You know, the power will then change, Ray Dalio and all of that. Okay. The third one would be blue chip companies, dividend companies. Yeah. Companies that are, you know, household names. Okay. That everyone's familiar with. Yeah. Then after that, we're going to be looking into corporate bonds and then anything else after that, where real estate bonds, real estate indices and what have you, because real estate indexes, then 90% of the profits have to get paid in dividends. So that's going to be something that I'm going to be working on in the Platinum membership, just sharing them my idea on what I'm going to be looking at and getting involved in. So you want to take part in that. That's going to be a longer term thing. But for anyone that does play ETFs as such, get involved in that. There is a discount on the Platinum membership, which you get 20% off on your first month. And that code is in the live stream description on this video, live stream, whatever. Okay. So in regards to your question about the bonds, that's what I'm going to be looking into. Everyone's asking, should I get involved in the bonds right now? Don't do nothing until we know exactly what Trump's going to be doing. And that's the truth. You want to pay attention to what the Trump's doing. I mean, the bonds have moved up a little bit, but we're waiting for Trump and we're also waiting for the Bank of Japan. I'm waiting to see what they have to say about the issues that they've got with the Japanese yen, dollar yen, trading at 157 right now. And of course, the 10-year bonds on the Japanese yen are also getting smacked. There's a big gap right here. I expect them to come and clear that gap. And they also need to do a quick thing and get this yield down because this is hurting them. They can't afford to be paying yield like this. They're advertising it because no one's picking up the bonds, but the investors could be waiting until a certain event before they actually start picking up Japanese bonds, which naturally, when the bonds market go up in Japan, the US bonds market goes up as well. All right. So before we, can really get technical about it, the euro itself is getting smacked left, right, and center. Even the swap rate is over here. The implied rate differential on the euro is right now 1.39. Last week it was 1.66, and you were only picking up after fees about 1.16% on a 12-day option as such. Oh, sorry, that was on a 23-day. Now, even less on a 12-day. It would actually be less than that. So it'd be probably just under 1%. And that's only because the euro itself is just taking an absolute bleed to the downside. So, yeah, it's look at that. It's just getting smacked left, right, and center. Parity, ladies and gentlemen. It's on its way. Absolute madness. But, yeah. Okay, cool. Now, lots of information, happy days. Now we're going to get into this giveaway. Okay, so if you're ready for the giveaway, let's get with the program. Here we go. On the Traders Reality YouTube channel, I've created a community post. It starts off with Happy New Year, Pattern Watchers. Happy New Year to you all. We're going to be giving away 3 subscribers. Going to be giving away access to the Platinum membership for a month. Okay. Now, the only way that you can take part in this is you go to this community post, not this live stream, not this live. Do not comment here. Comment on this post right here. As you can see, guys have been commenting. Just comment Platinum. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick out 3 people and we're going to reveal the winners for that, I believe, tomorrow. Okay. So in tomorrow's live stream, we'll reveal the winners for that. Whoever does win, make sure you message Mike Dutch in the Pattern Watchers Discord. The link is there for you. So just join the Discord. It's free to join. Get involved in the community. And then DM Mike Dutch if you are one of the winners. Okay? Happy days. All right? Are we good with that? Happy New Year, my friend. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any questions? Don't comment there, my bro. What are you doing, man? Never mind. Never mind. Any questions? Happy New Year from Egypt. Mad love to you. Don't comment here. You're doing it to wind me up. No, you can bruv, comment here. This is the community post. Just go to the community post section and just comment there. So it's easier for us. You're commenting here, my bro. I ain't gonna be looking for comments in this live stream. And you're having me on. I know you are. I know you are. Anyways, any questions, ladies and gentlemen, before we kill it today? I don't believe you guys. Mitch, especially you. All right, then. Ladies and gentlemen, seems like you're all having a bit of fun. Happy New Year. I hope today's video or live stream has helped you out. Remember, the discount code for the Platinum membership is in this chat in the description. It's called Christmas, so use that at the checkout. But get yourself over to this community post and take part in the giveaway. All right? Have yourselves a great day, guys. Mad love and respect. Go chill with your families and stop taking the mic. I ain't doing no giveaway again, man. You guys take the mic out of me. Oh, I'm out. Peace.